All right, let's talk about your brain, but maybe not in the way you usually think about it. Because what if I told you that you don't just have one single mind? Instead, you've got these two, totally different systems inside your head, and they're pretty much in a constant battle for control over every single thing you do.
I mean, you know that feeling, right? That little argument you have with yourself? It's like one part of you is screaming, yes, that donut right now, while this other, quieter voice is kind of whispering, hey, remember the gym? Let's think about this for a second.
Well, it turns out that argument isn't you being indecisive or anything. It's actually a sign that your brain is working exactly the way it's supposed to. This whole idea that we have these different parts of our mind interacting and, yeah, sometimes fighting, it's been around for ages, and it's pretty much the key to figuring out why we do the things we do. Okay, so let's properly introduce the two main characters in this story, the two minds living inside your head. Now, psychologists have a name for them, of course, System 1 and System 2. But really, you can just think of them as the fast one and the slow one. And the difference between them is, well, it's huge. System 1, that's your gut reaction. It's all about speed, intuition, emotion. Then you've got System 2, the deliberate thinker. It's slow, it takes effort, and it's super logical. They're like complete opposites, but somehow they've got to work together every single second of every day.
So let's start with System 1. You can think of this as your brain's autopilot. It's a total shortcut machine. It uses these things called heuristics, which is just a fancy word for mental rules of thumb, to make tons of judgments all day long without you even thinking about it. It's the reason you instantly know that 2 plus 2 is 4, or how you can spot a friend's face in a huge crowd. It's super, super efficient. But, and this is a big but, that love for shortcuts can sometimes get you into a bit of trouble.
And then, of course, there's System 2. This is the focused co-pilot. This is the part of your brain you actually have to turn on, you know? It's what you use when you're trying to solve a tricky math problem or remember parallel parking for the very first time. Yeah, that's all System 2. It's incredibly powerful and logical, but here's its secret. It's also kind of lazy. It takes real energy to get it going, so it's more than happy to just sit back and let System 1 handle things whenever possible. You know, the best way to think about this is driving a car. Remember when you were first learning? Every single move was a huge deal. Checking the mirror, pressing the gas just right. That was pure, effortful System 2. But now, after years of practice, driving is mostly a System 1 job, right? You can chat, listen to a podcast, it's all automatic. That is, until something unexpected happens, like bam, a sudden rainstorm. That's when your brain basically screams, System 2, we need you! And suddenly, you're back to that careful, focused, two hands on the wheel thinking.
So System 1 is amazing, it's efficient, but what happens when those quick, intuitive shortcuts totally mislead us? Well, you know what? Let's not just talk about it. Let's put your own System 1 to the test right now.
Okay, you ready? Listen closely. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat cost exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Just what's the very first number that just popped into your head? Don't overthink it.
I'm going to guess that for a lot of you, your brain immediately screamed, 10 cents, right? It did it with total confidence. That's your System 1 in action. It saw the $1.10 and the $1, did a super fast subtraction, and served you up a nice, simple, easy answer that is completely wrong. The correct answer is actually 5 cents. Think about it. If the ball is 5 cents and the bat is $1 more, that makes the bat $1.05. Add them together, and you get $1.10. See? To get there, you had to physically stop, ignore that super tempting 10 cents answer, and really engage your logical System 2 to do the work. This little puzzle's like the perfect snapshot of these two systems clashing.
And this weakness, this vulnerability of our gut reaction, it goes even deeper than that. The legendary psychologists Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman, they showed that it's not always about the facts of a decision. It's about how those facts are presented to us, how they're framed. And their work on what's called the framing effect is just mind-blowing in showing how easily our System 1 can be played.
So check out their classic experiment. Imagine this scenario. A deadly disease is about to hit, and it's expected to kill 600 people. You're in charge, and you have two programs to choose from. Okay, for the first group of people, Program A is presented like this. If you choose this program, you will save 200 people. The key word there is save. It feels good, right? It's positive, it's certain, it feels safe. Okay, but now a different group of people get the exact same problem, but it's framed differently. For them, program A is described this way. If you choose this program, 400 people will die. Now hold on. It's the exact same outcome, right? Saving 200 out of 600 is the same as 400 not being saved. But that word, die, it has this huge emotional punch that completely changes how our gut, our system 1, sees the choice. And the results? They were absolutely stunning. When the choice was framed as a gain, about saving lives, a whopping 72% of people played it safe. They took the certain option. But when it was framed as a loss, about people dying, everything flipped. Suddenly, 78% of people became risk takers. They gambled. The math, the logic, it didn't change one bit, but the emotional frame totally hijacked their decision-making. It proves that how you say something can be way more powerful than what you're actually saying.
So, if our brains can be tricked this easily, are we just doomed? Are we stuck with these gut reactions that can be totally wrong? Well, not necessarily. The cool thing is, research shows there are actually ways we can kind of nudge ourselves into using our more logical system 2. And the way to do it is really, really weird.
I mean, this is going to sound totally backwards. What if the secret to thinking more clearly was to make things harder to understand? It sounds nuts, I know, but that is exactly what a psychologist named Adam Alter discovered in some really cool experiments. So here's what they did. They took logic puzzles, just like that bat and ball one, and for one group, they printed them in a nice, clear, easy-to-read font. For the other group, they used this ugly, small, grayed-out font that was a real pain to read. And that little bit of friction, that difficulty, it acted like a mental speed bump. It sent a signal to the brain saying, whoa, hold on, this is going to take some effort. And it forced people to switch off their lazy System 1 and fire up the heavy machinery of System 2.
And the results of adding what they call this desirable difficulty, they were amazing. The people who got the hard-to-read font actually got more of the puzzles correct. They were way less likely to just jump to the easy, wrong answer. They focused more on what the problem actually said. Basically, they were forced to think instead of just reacting.
Okay, so this is all really fascinating stuff about the brain, but so what? What does this actually mean for us, in our everyday lives? Well, understanding this two-system model isn't just for psychology class. It has huge, real-world consequences for how we design everything around us. Just think about saving for retirement. Our logical System 2 knows that we should be putting money away. But our impulsive System 1 is like, hey, but that new phone is right there. So what did clever behavioral economists do? They designed a little nudge. By making signing up for a retirement plan the default option at work, they used System 1's laziness for good. Now, doing nothing means you're saving money. You have to make an effort to opt out. And it has made a massive difference in how much people save. And that right there is really the big takeaway. The point isn't that System 1 is bad and we should get rid of it. Not at all. It's an amazing tool. The real goal is to get better at knowing which system is in charge at any given moment. It's about learning to ask yourself, is this a time I can trust my gut, or is this important enough that I really need to slow down, hit the brakes, and get my logical System 2 involved?
So that leaves us with one last big question to think about. If we know our thinking can be influenced this easily, how can we start to design our own lives to help our better, more logical side win more often? What kind of small changes, what little desirable difficulties can we put in our own way to make it just a little bit easier for our slow, deliberate, future-focused brain to win the argument against that fast, impulsive part that just wants to donut right now?